What's going on, guys? HaVoC here, and I'm showing you guys the top 3 bases that I think, in my opinion, are the best for TH8 with the air sweeper for trophy fishing. So these are not bases that you search up and the first one that comes up is in this list. No, these are actually bases that I think are really just deserve a spot in this list. So let's go to get right into this. So one of the things I'm going to be hitting is splash damage, clan castle, and traps. That's basically it, because the last time I tried to add so many categories, the video was like 20 minutes, so I don't want a 20-minute video this time. I just want to cut the trip short. So let's go to get right into it for real this time. Alright guys, so the first base we have right here is where's his barcode? And this guy right here actually created a base. Now, this base is really modified from his version. He uploaded a base, which is this one right here, the same design, but the thing that I changed was a lot of stuff. He had, I don't really know, it was kind of messed up. I'm not going to say the base was bad before me, but I just tweaked it up a bit to make it a little bit better. So, looking at the splash damage right now, the splash damage is actually really nice. The mortars are protecting the whole entire base right here. So, one of the most important things are the the wizard towers, and the wizard towers are actually protecting most of the base as well. Now, if you do want a more protection in the wizard towers, just move the wizard towers with these right here, and then you have a more better protection for them. Now, I won't do that because I just think they fit right there. Like, it's just the perfect position right there. So, looking at the clan castle, now the clan castle is a little bit lurable from the top side. If you drop a barbarian, you probably can activate it from that little builder hut, but you know, most of the time people just won't be smart enough to deploy a barbarian. They probably just deploy archer and it won't be in range to actually activate the clan castle. So I would say the clan castle is in a fair position, but there's really no other place you can put it except for this little wizard tower right here. And they can still pretty much lure it from the top, of course. So really, the clan castle in this base is a little bit fair. We can say is okay in this base. Now, the traps in this base right here are actually really nice, and I love how how there's a lot of air traps next to the air defenses, which is pretty important. When you're building a base, try to put as many air traps next to the air defenses, because when the let's say for example you get attacked with a bunch of balloons and a whole bunch of traps just blow up and stuff like that in front of your balloons, those balloons are going down, and you want that to happen. So I really like the traps in this base, and as far as the spring traps go, I can say they're pretty fair. I like them as well. In this spot right here, when a wall breaker comes right here, boom, the wall's gone, and then some more wall breakers come in, and then they just flung up in the air. So pretty good job on that. We're going to see some of the other spring traps right here. Now, I would move this right here, just because when the giants finish with that little mortar right there, they will walk to the cannon, and I want them to flung up with that spring trap right there. So I'm going to move that right there. Just like that, and say, well, actually I can't say the same thing in this side, but this side has a giant bomb, which is fairly good as well. So looking at these spring traps in the middle, same thing with this side right here. When the giants finish with these defenses, they'll go to the next defense, and you want the spring traps to be as close as possible to the next defense, so the giants get flung up. So looking at these skelly traps, pretty good centralized, and that's pretty much it. So that is it for this base, guys. If you guys want to go ahead and check out the original version posted by Barcode, the links are below. The links are below for every single base in this list. So let's go to move on to the next base. Alright guys, so for the second base we have is the Golden Planet, made by someone. Man, I wonder who made this. So this base right here, I really love it. This has been like one of the most used bases in my opinion. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to say that my base is the best out there, but I just seen this base every time I farm. I'm farming, and I just see this base so much. So this base right here is actually pretty nice. And looking at the splash damage, which is the first thing, well, unless you have some kind of OCD, the splash damage are really perfect where they are. But if you are OCD, or I don't know how to say, if you have or you are, well, something like that, then you realize that this is not forming a square. The mortars are not forming a perfect square. If you were to move it to right here, they would be forming a perfect square, and the wizard towers aren't actually forming a perfect triangle. If you move it right here, they would actually be. So the reason why I put it like this is because I think if archers come in from the top or something, they will hit that storage right there, and this will give enough time for the mortar and the wizard tower to actually destroy them. You don't want archers just batching at that mortar or something and have that little elixir storage just sitting right there. So looking at clan castle right now, which is the next thing, is I don't really know about this clan castle. If it was somewhere like right here or somewhere in the middle, it would be perfect. But same thing as the last base, it kind of is lureable from the sides. So make sure if you are trying to make it more unlureable, try and make this like a little bit out, so that you have a little bit better of a spread against these little buildings right here, so they make a little more of a non-lureable area. So yeah, that kind of solves it a little bit. But anyways, the base is just like the clan castle is still the same thing as the last base. We can't say just by moving this is perfect. So I'm gonna just move it back right here, and yeah, so there's no way to move it unless you move the tunnel right here and you kind of adjust it or something. And yeah, so moving on to the traps, which is the most important part in this base. If you don't have traps, then good luck in, well, I don't know, but traps play a big role in this base, because there is kind of like a funneling trap kind of thing going on here. I don't really know how to name it because I haven't put a name for it yet, and there really is no name for it. And one of the things I really like about this base is these spring traps right here. When the mortars, well, not when the mortars, when the wall breakers come in right here, and then the giants, they will be flung up by the first defense they target. So if they go for this cannon right here, then there's a spring trap for the giants, a little present for them. And if they go right here, there's actually a spring trap right there for the giants as well. So that is it for both sides right there. Each side is the same. So looking at some of the other things, we have a double giant bomb placement for hogs. People who don't think, then just go in with hogs right here, and boom, you're done with the raid. And we also have a giant bomb in the middle for if wizards get in there or something, then they must blow up. And if a golem goes in there, then I don't know, the golem loses health. So looking at some of the spring traps in the top side right here, we have a little bit of spring traps right here, and I really like how if the giants get this defense, they'll go for this defense and they get flung up with by that spring trap as well. Same thing on the other side as well. The giants go to this one and then go straight to that little archer tower right here. So really nice job on that. And yeah, so looking at the air traps, the same thing as I said in the last space. I really like when air traps are just like bunched up in an air defense, because you know that people will it's most important in tunnel 9, but tunnel 8 is still the same thing. You're trying to protect your air defense as much possible from balloons, so make sure that you have a lot of traps near the air defenses. So looking at I think that's about it. So that is the golden planet. Let's go to move on to the next base, which is the last base. Alright guys, so moving on to this base right here is actually made by Clash with Cam, and he makes pretty nice bases. He makes the best bases for anti-go-up and whatnot, so I really enjoy this base that he made for tunnel 8. Now, of course, this base was meant to protect from go-up and air, so if you're trying to protect from two things at the same time, which is usually not a good idea, it has to have some flaws in the base. So let's go ahead and review some of the flaws first of all. And I just believe that the wizard towers and the splash damage, which is the splash damage of course, I just believe that splash damage is kind of out there, but at the same time it's all right for me. So I really like it because he just tries to make the base anti-dragon, anti-air, anti-whatever, at the same time with ground. And I just think that the wizard towers are in a very good position if you're trying to protect from both attacks. Now, one of the things I love, this is not splash damage of course, but I really love how the air defenses are centralized and they're hard to get to. So you can't just deploy, let's say, a hero and it takes out the air defense like some people have it outside right here and don't know what they're doing. So I really like this position of the air defenses. Now, looking at the mortars, they're kind of in an odd position. I have never done that before, but I think that this is to protect from ground. I know that people will attack from ground, mostly from the bottom, so that way he puts some traps right here. And if you deploy some hogs right here, let's say you deploy some hogs right here, I really love this right here. If you deploy some hogs right here, the hogs will go running to that little Tesla, and most likely they will trigger that little giant bomb, and boosh, they go. And the attacker is forced to actually deploy a healer, a heal spell really early in the battle. So I really like how that is set up right there. And yeah, and as well as they attack from the, if they attack from the top, let's say, and they're like at, let's say they trash your base, and they're at 90 something %. I really like how you have to run all around the base to get the rest of the Teslas, and it's really gonna take up that time, and they might not even get the 3 stars. So went on to the clan castle. He did say in his video that the clan castle was not in the best position, so I agree with him. It's not in the best position, but he said that he tried to make the clan castle troops slow down go wipe. It's just meant for that, and that's pretty much it. It's not to earn learnable clan castle and stuff like that. No, he tried to make the clan castle troops slow down go wipe. So good job on that, and let's go ahead and move on to the trap. Alright, so for the traps, we have 4 spring traps right here, which is pretty interesting. I really like that because when the Giants finish up with that Tesla or the Hog Riders, they'll go for that spring trap right here, which they're gonna get flung up, of course. And yeah, so looking at some of the other traps, we already covered the giant bomb, and looking at the air traps now. I really like how he made the top air defense a little bit more stronger than these, because people will think that the top side is a little bit more weaker than the bottom, so they will attack from the top most likely with air. But you know, I can't be wrong, they might attack from the bottom or the sides or whatever, but most likely people will think the top is a little bit more weaker and attack from the top side, so therefore we put a lot of traps next to that air defense. Alright guys, so that concludes our list right here. If you guys like my top 3 Tunnel 8 trophy bases, then just leave a like, a comment, and that's about it. So the next time you go searching for a base, don't search and click on the first one you see. Just try to search more and try to search for the best base you like. And yeah, so that's about it guys. If you guys enjoyed, please rate, comment, subscribe for more videos. Tell me what you guys think below in the comment section, and peace out YouTube. See you on the next one. Peace.
One time for the manners, I get lyrical. They think they on this level, under pressure like aerosol. Hands, now watch them disband to the upper lands. Intricate but never send metaphors you can't understand. Shallow but never gravel, the facts that I know. Cause in this world you need to share all your knowledge with callow individuals, or give them a visual. Paint pictures for your mind, original as Picasso in my living room. Yeah, I'm that dope with tight ropes that'll leave you choked if I ever found out you lied to me when you spoke. So drowning in my thoughts, trying to keep my mind afloat, constrained.